Good day viewers, this is Oganekaro Asowe bringing you the latest updates from Diary TV channel. Today we turn our attention to Benue State, where a series of dramatic events has unfolded amidst a presidential visit. President Bola Tinubu arrived in Makurdi, the capital of Benue State, to pay his respects and offer condolences following a tragic massacre that has left the community in mourning. However, his visit has been marred by heavy protest and severe flooding, creating a complex and tense atmosphere. Let's dive into the details of these unfolding events. First, let's set the scene. Benue State, often referred to as the food basket of the nation, has recently been gripped by sorrows due to violent attacks that have claimed numerous lives. President Tinubu's decision to visit was intended as a gesture of solidarity and support. However, the response from the local population has been far from what was anticipated. Spontaneous protests have erupted across parts of Makurdi, with citizens expressing their frustration and anger over the ongoing security challenges and the perceived inadequacy in addressing them. This protest has not only highlighted the depth of the crisis, but also posed significant challenges to the presidential entourage and the local authorities. Simultaneously, the region is battling another crisis, flooding. Heavy rain has led to severe flooding, trapping drivers and disrupting normal activities, including the president's visit. The dual challenge of protest and natural disaster have created a volatile environment, testing the resilience of both the community and the government. Over the next couple of minutes, we'll explore these events in details, providing you with a thorough understanding of the situation as it stands as at today. Our first major focus is on the protest that has broken out in Makurdi. Videos circulating on social media, including those shared by local residents, show large groups of people taking to the streets, voicing their discontent. These protests are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader expression of frustration with the security situation in Benue State. The timing of this protest coinciding with President Tinubu's visit has added another layer of complexity to the narrative. From the footage, we can see a bustling market area with colorful umbrellas where a crowd has gathered, seemingly in agitation. The presence of various vehicles, including cars, motorcycles, indicates the scope of the disruption. The protesters, many of whom appear to be youth, are seen marching and chanting, their voice a clear call for action. The atmosphere is charged with a sense of urgency and demand for accountability. This reaction is a direct response to the recent massacre, which has left the community reeling and seeking answers. Local sources suggest that the protests are spontaneous, driven by a collective sentiment of grief and anger. The people of Benue are demanding more than just condolence. They are calling for concrete measures to ensure their safety and address the root cause of the violence. The presence of the president, rather than calming the situation, seems to have amplified these demands, as citizens see this opportunity to voice their concerns directly to the highest office. Furthermore, these protests have not been without tension. Reports indicate that there have been attempts to block major routes, including the Abuja-Makurdi highway, as a form of civil disobedience. This has led to significant disruption affecting both local and visiting dignitaries. The security forces have been deployed to manage the situation, but the underlying issues remain unsolved, fueling the ongoing demonstrations. Amidst this backdrop of protests, President Bola Tinubu's visit to Benue State was intended to be a condolence mission. The president arrived to express his sympathy to the families of the victims and to assure the people of the federal government's commitment to their security. However, the timing and the context of his visit has been met with mixed reaction. President Tinubu's schedule included meetings with local leaders and a visit to the affected areas. His presence was meant to symbolize solidarity and a promise of action. However, The spontaneous nature of the protest has shifted the focus from condolences to confrontation. The president's team has had to navigate through a charged environment, with security measures heightened to ensure his safety and that of his entourage. Local reaction to the president's visit has been varied. While some appreciate the gesture, others view it as insufficient given the scale of the crisis. The demand for immediate and effective solutions to the security challenges is palpable. The president's statement, as reported by previous media outlets, have emphasized the need for unity and a concerted effort to address the root cause of this violence. However, these words have not yet translated into visible action that can quell the unrest. The juxtaposition of the presidential visit and the protest has created a powerful image of a nation grappling with its challenges. It underscores the delicate balance between offering condolences and addressing systemic issues. As of today, the situation remains fluid, with the president's visit continuing under tight security and amidst ongoing demonstrations. Adding to the complexity of the situation in Benue State is the severe flooding that has threatened President Tinubu's visit. Heavy rains have led to flooding in various areas of Makurdi, trapping drivers and disrupting transportation. This natural disaster has compounded the challenges faced by both the local population and the visiting delegation. Reports indicate that the flooding has affected key routes, making it difficult for vehicles to move. Drivers have been trapped, and there has been concerned about the safety of those traveling to and fro from the areas where the president is scheduled to visit. The flooding is not an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern of heavy rainfall that has plagued the region, leading to displacement and loss of property. The impact of the flooding on the presidential visit cannot be overstated. It has necessitated change in travel plans and heightened the logistical challenges. Security personnel and emergency responders have been stretched thin, dealing with both the protest and the flooding. The dual crisis has tested the resilience of the infrastructure and the capacity of authorities to respond effectively. Local residents have expressed frustration over the lack of preparedness for such natural disasters. The flooding has exaggerated the already tense situation, with many feeling that their voices are not being heard amidst the chaos. The government's response to the flooding has been a point of contention, with calls for better disaster management and relief efforts. As of today, the flooding situation remains critical. Efforts are on the way to clear the affected areas and ensure the safety of those impacted. However, the combination of protests and flooding has created a perfect storm, challenging the authorities to address multiple crises simultaneously. In conclusion, the events in Benue State today paint a picture of a region grappling with profound challenges. The heavy protest during President Bola Tinubu's condolence visit to Massacre victims highlighted the deep-seated frustration and demands for security and accountability. Simultaneously, the flooding crisis has added another layer of complexity, trapping drivers and disrupting normal activities. Diary TV channel will continue to monitor this development closely, bringing you the latest updates as they unfold. The situation in Benue State is a stark reminder of the multifaceted challenge facing Nigeria, from security threats to natural disasters. This calls for a concerted effort from all stakeholders to address these issues and ensure the safety and well-being of the people. Thank you for joining us from this in-depth coverage. Stay tuned to Diary TV channel for more updates, and remember to stay informed and engaged. This is Oganekaros Asoe signing off.